All right, seventh grade. So this is just a simple tutorial on the correct way to build any structure in our class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a basic pulley system, but I'm not going to use string or anything. I'm just going to set it up and put the pulleys on it. And to be honest with you, pulleys can be built any way. These will be the side panels of the pulleys, and I've already pre-built one here so you can see what it's going to look like. Most kids, what they would do is they would grab the longer gray connects posts and then just put two gray connects posts, connect something up there, connect something down there. But just a rectangle is not a good structure. The proper way to engineer anything is to have triangles in it. So this is just a great example of the triangles that we're using. So there, in each one of these squares, there are two triangles. And then by alternating the direction that I'm going, I'm creating bigger triangles here and here. So you're getting two more triangles in that mix too. So it's really important that you have triangles in your designs because triangles are a perfect shape that allows support to be carried on all sides. And that's really something it's vital to the integrity of whatever it is you're building and keeping it together. So here we are. I've got the pieces to build this. So I'm going to show you how to build that right now. And it's pretty simple. You can just lay out 4 connectors and put the posts in to make a square. This is the start. Make sure that your connectors are facing the same direction, and that's your basic start. Now from there, you can just build off, which is really simple to do. 2 more posts, 2 more connectors, another 2 posts, and then the last 2 posts to create the last squares. And we have our setup there. And now just adding in the cross beams. Now remember, when you're doing this, you're creating 2 triangles, but we're now trying to create a 3rd triangle by going the opposite direction, and a 4th, and then these 2 as well. So that's how easy it is to make that. So now when you have your 2 structures, to put them, and I'll go off the table here, to put them so that we can connect them together, well, that probably requires some minor adjustments. What I can do, and this is a pretty important thing, is we can always take apart connects. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these gray pieces. You might remember them because we used some of these in our inclined plane building where we clipped them together and then they sat on the table, and that gave us a nice base to work off of. We're going to do that with these as well, but in this case, we're just putting them together, just the gray pieces instead of a gray and a blue. And when we're done, we will have what looks like what you see here. And I will then attach them kind of like I did with the yellow one, but now I'm getting another direction to also connect a different blue post. Or if I want to go further than that, I can, and I'll explain. So I'm going to snap all these in. Okay, there we go. That's one. Let's replace these guys. Do the same thing here. Pop that one in. Do the same thing there. Okay. So now we've got those, but instead of them being on the bottom, they're going to be on the top. And the reason we're going to do that is, if we want to make our pulley system, we can connect them this way. It's pretty simple. And what I would do is I would put the pulley wheels on those. So just slide the pulley on, and I will give you a little insight onto the pulley as well. We'll talk about that in a couple seconds. The pulley wheels can be stabilized so that they're more consistent, and I will show you how to do that. You should know that when it comes to connects, there's always a way. If you have a question and something didn't work, I guarantee that they've figured that out. So here's a simple pulley system that we would put string over both on the tops of the pulley wheels, and then as you pulled one side up and down, it would work that way. We don't have a viable base though. I mean, this thing can stand up and it does a good job, but it's very wobbly and I don't know. I don't really like that. So there is a way to make it stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another level of height to it. And you could obviously change this if you'd like. But what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to build off of this to make even triangles down low. And that the yellow one's really not going to give me that option to do that. So I'm actually going to take those off. And I'm going to replace them with white connectors. Because as you can see with the white connectors, it gives me more options. Where the yellow only goes halfway, the white goes all the way around in a 360-degree rotation. And therefore, now I have more opportunity to build off of this thing. So once again, adjusting. And this is what engineering is about. After you have a plan and you've drawn something up and then you started to build, well, you might even make an adjustment or a change to your build. So there we have it. I've got the 4 whites. I'm going to put these in. I'll put these guys in as well. Up here. Now I'm going to try to get my bases, which are the gray to blues. We'll snap those together. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we want to put these on the ends. Now this is a crucial step here to making sure that we put things in correctly. And obviously, like I said, I'm just building off the table on the side of the table, but we will eventually move the camera so that you can see how this all works. I will need a couple blues, probably 4, to make the square at the bottom. Slide these pieces in. Got 2 there. And to give you an idea, that's what I just put in, these guys right here. I need 2 more blues, continue my square. Oh wait, I didn't put blues on the top here. I put yellows, so I need to do the same thing down there. So I'll just grab the yellow here. And I need another yellow on the flip side. That's red. There we go. All right. So now my base stands up. You can see it standing. But what I want to do, and this is nice, this is good. You can see the pulley. It's really close up there. But you can see all the way down the pulley. And this base is actually pretty good. But pretty good isn't good enough when it comes to civil engineering and making sure that when you're building something that it's built to last. So when we start pulling weights on these, although they won't push into each other, like I had just broke it just to make sure that it would move. But in order though, it won't push in on each other, which is great because we don't want it to. What it will do is it could wobble one way. And there's a way to get rid of that by adding more triangles. So I'm going to turn this to the side and we're going to build off of that. Keeping our colors the same. You want to keep the colors of the posts the same. The cross beams will be the yellows. And now we just need a connector down here, which we can go with the yellow connectors. They'll work, especially if you want to build off of them. But there's other connectors in here. We have reds that can leave you with one that goes up. There's even a gray one that's just that. So I'll put the red one on there for right now because I don't need anything other than that. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to do the next 2. So we need 2 more blues and a yellow. And the connector blues. 1, 2. The connector yellows. Well, I mean the yellow posts. And then 2 red connectors. There we go. So we got 2 blue posts, 2 yellow posts, and 2 red connectors. And now when I do this, I have some stability. I'm adding more triangles to it. It's engineered a whole lot better. And now this thing, depending on how I use it, I'll spin it around. There you go. I'm going to go long ways so that it gets the entire thing in the picture. So when there's weight being pulled down on this, it won't lean this way because it's got a nice triangle here, and that triangle is going to stabilize the pulley. Now, is this the best pulley I can make? No, this is just a basic one. There's a lot of different ways you can use pulleys. You don't even have to have the two up here. You can have one up here, one down here. It just depends on what direction you want things being pulled in. But this is how you build one to keep it from falling apart. Now, if you want to go even more than this, yeah, you could put gray ones in here or two blue connectors like the ones down here, but two blue ones here, and then do more posts and across. Sometimes, though, when there's an item hanging down from the pulley or a weight, that could interfere with the weight. So it's just depending on how you want to set it up. Believe it or not, you could also do one of these. You can go all the way across and snap these connectors in sideways. So the posts will go in sideways, and that will also shore up the sides and make it so that it doesn't just bend in. Makes it nice and stable. Again, this could interfere with whatever weight you have hanging down from the pulley. So if it comes down and it hits this piece, it could affect how you want this thing to work. But you have to figure out what you can use and how you can do it, and then build your system. Again, this is just a pulley. You can build almost anything you want by doing triangles, but triangles are the key to making something stronger. Good luck.